morning, guys, and welcome back to vlog number 31. Today is Thursday, February 20th, and we are 2/3 of the way through the month, and we have another third of the way to stack on some cheese. Yesterday was a pretty short session. We played about 5 to 6 hours only, and then the game got slow, so it was a good opportunity to just wrap it up early and go home and take a little break for some extended meditation and reading time, because like I said, gotta keep practicing that mind and exercising that mind. We want to get mentally fit, right? So let's go ahead and jump to a hand history. We didn't have that many interesting hand histories to play, but we do have one interesting spot. So this player is a WinStar semi-reg. Comes here and back and forth, knows who I am and I know who he is. I play with him in local games as well. So he tends to try to outplay me, because that's his form of getting better, is to try to play against better players, you could say. So but his form of outplaying is not really solid thinking. It's more of sporadic, weird, funky moves. So we call him Funky. So there's like two orbits previously where I had raised pre-flop, and on a 7-7-6 board where I was in the hijack and he was on the button, and I c-bet and he floated, and it went check 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 all the way to the river, and he showed Jack 10 of spades just for a backdoor spade draw with two overs and maybe a backdoor gut shot straight draw. So then this pretty much sets things up, right? I've identified that in this session he's floating me wide, like really wide. So now we know his floating range. So this sets up for this hand. I am in the middle position too, and the effective stack is 600, 500, and the Funky is in the cutoff, and he has 500. I have 600. So it's folded to me. I have Jack of Spade, Queen of Club, and I raise to $20, and Funky calls. So we go to a $45 pot, and the flop is 4 spade, 8 of diamond, and 9 of spade. So I do a standard C bet, $30 and $35. Actually, this is more on the larger side. A standard C bet would be more like 25, 30. So this is on the larger side because given that he floats a lot, I wanted to get rid of his float. And then if he does call, we do have some good equity to a pair plus a gut shot, 2 overs plus a gut shot. So then he calls, and now the pot is 115, and the turn brings a Jack of Club, which hits us out, gives us our top pair. So I continue knowing that his floating range is wide, and his as well as his calling. So I bet 75 into 115, a rather larger bet. A smaller bet would be anywhere from 55 to 65. So I think I'm going for max value. But then Funky raises to 150, a min raise. So this is decision time, analyzing time. What is Funky's range here? Well, if he's floating us, he could have, of course, on the flop an 8, a 9, a 4, 2 overs. And so those overs can include a jack, and he could also have 10 jack. So if I were to range him here, I would probably put him on a jack kind of hand. Or unless he has 8, 10, 9, 10, where he picked up some kind of pair plus gut shot. But I don't think 8, 9, and 9, 10 is value betting himself against his own draw here. So I can discount 8, 9, and 9, 10. So it's more of Jack 10 more here, where now he has open the straight draw and top pair, and or Queen Jack like mine, King Jack that beats us, or Ace Jack. So those are the ranges that we beat and put him on. So of course we lose to King Jack and Ace Jack at this point. But his bet of 150. Let's try to read into his mind, right? What is he thinking here? Well, he knows that I'm c betting wide here. So what he's doing is probably, if he has 10 jack or queen jack here, he's probably thinking, well, Tommy could have a 10 here or 8 or 9 or ace king, and he's c betting. So I'm going to min raise here so that if he calls, I can check the river. That way he can't bet the river and puts me into a tough spot to call. And if he is behind, then I get extra value because he can't not fold to a min raise. So that's what his logic is, and I know that's what his thinking is. So I went ahead and shoved, knowing that he can't call here, because if he had any decently strong hand, he would not min raise. The min raise is more of a river blocker bet than anything. So I'm not gonna let him get away with this. So I shove, and next question is, you're probably gonna ask is, what if he has king jack and ace jack? Aren't we value betting ourselves? Then the answer is yes, because this is what we discussed before, where this is a merging bet between a bluff and a value bet. We're not waiting for extremes like big bluff or big value bet. Like, we could literally be bluffing or value betting depending on right there in the middle, you could say. So yes, I chop with queen jack. I beat 10 jack, and I lose to ace jack and king jack. But ace jack and king jack cannot call me here in the spot, because what am I overshoving here that ace jack and king jack beats? Besides what he sees, queen jack and maybe 10 jack that's willing to turn the head into a bluff. And most people in this situation with queen jack and 10 jack will probably just call. 10 jack will probably just call to try to hit it straight. Queen jack will probably call hoping to be good. But in this spot, I don't think queen jack is good enough of the time for me to just call. And so I thought the better play was to just fold out any jack and turn my hand into a bluff. And then the only hands that will call remaining are the draws, like 10 jack. So then I get value from 10 jack, keeping it a worse hand in, but I also fold a better hand out. And that's why I decided to shove instead of call. And it worked out well. This was based on my read of his previous float, that he could have floated with 2 overs. So another combo that could have gone in there was queen, some kind of king 10 gut shot, or see here, I guess king queen now with the 10 to go. Yeah. So those are his floating ranges was too wide and opening him up to getting shoved on, and that's what happened. So next time, buddy, don't try on somebody else, but not here. See ya in a bit. Welcome back to our reflection time, guys. So yesterday we talked about impatience, and we said that it ties into discipline. And so today we're gonna reflect on discipline. So what is discipline to start with, right? Like, discipline is our ability to restrain ourselves. But what do we restrain ourselves from? But most of the times, all of our actions are driven by desires, right? The desire for something. If we don't desire anything, we won't move. We will just stay in a state of non-movement. But so when we want to have discipline, what we need to do is look at our desires. And our desires is what causes us to do all these things, right? When we're impatient, it's because we want our desire, we want things right away. We cannot wait. So when we restrain our desires, well, what we're doing is we're executing discipline. And most people just don't have the discipline to restrain their desires, right? You want a cookie, you grab and eat it. You want ice cream, you eat it. You want a soda, you drink it. You want to watch a TV, you press the remote. Very few of us ever set aside a day to say, today I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I need to exercise self-restraint. And through that, I can develop more discipline. We never try to keep our mind fixed on that. So when the time comes for us to have discipline, well, we don't have any mental strength to do it, right? And not only that, but we can't muster up the effort to restrain ourselves because we have never developed that effort. Because effort begets discipline. If you have effort, it leads to discipline. Conversely, you have discipline, it begets effort. You have discipline, then you can muster up that effort. So we have to pick one, right? Do we want to start with effort so that we can build discipline, or have discipline so that we could muster up the effort? Well, most of us don't have discipline, but we do have effort, right? We can always muster up that effort to start somewhere. Well, we don't have to start big and, restrain ourselves from something big. We could just start small every day. Restrain ourselves from eating something wrong, from taking that extra cup of soda, or that dessert that we've been waiting for, we're craving for. And each time that we can subdue our desires, well, we get a little bit more stronger mentally, and because our effort was able to overcome that desire. So anytime we're able to overcome a desire, our effort gets stronger, stronger, and stronger. So we elevate our level of effort and our strength. And through that elevation, we develop discipline so that when the time that our desires overwhelm us, well, we have that discipline, that mental strength, that effort to restrain it. Because what we find out is that most of our desires is not what we really want. They arose, they were triggered by some outside stimulus, right? Like we saw a commercial, we saw people eating, or we just walked by a billboard, and it just kind of subconsciously gave us a thought, and then that desire subconsciously arose, and then it comes to the forefront of mind, and we say, "Oh, I want this. I crave this. I crave this." But we never go back and look at the origin and where does this desire arose. So, and then what we find out is that once a desire subdued, we really didn't want it. It was just that energy and that lack of discipline, and that it overtook us and it made us do what we really didn't want to do. And ultimately, most of those actions are geared towards sensuality, like pleasures and stuff that makes you feel good. But we know that most of the stuff that we gravitate towards sensuality is actually bad for us, and we should try to restrain our desires on anything that's sensual. Of course, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't enjoy and participate in sensuality. It's just that we shouldn't let the desire for sensuality overwhelm our capacity to maintain our self and be able to discipline ourselves, to muster up the effort to subdue that desire, or not even subdue, but just to wait it out, because that desire comes and goes. All desires come and go. They don't stay. And if you could wait it out, then it will go away, and then you probably gonna feel better because you achieved something, right? You overcame an obstacle, a mental obstacle, and that's where you probably be more happy and enjoy yourself more, because you're not doing it for anybody else. You did it for yourself. And that is what we wanted to do ultimately, is we do things for ourselves. And then the results, it benefits those around us. We don't want to do things for others and then let those results benefit us, because then when those results don't come, or when others don't appreciate it, well, we stop doing it. But whereas if we're doing it for ourselves, and we don't care about the results, and we don't care what others think, we just do it for ourselves, and the results and the process speaks for itself. I think that's it. I hope it ties into discipline and patience, because they all tie into each other, right? It's like a big web. One is connected to the other. It's not linear. One goes to the other. It's a big web, and they all associate. So, and these are all ideas to develop so that you could be mentally tougher and mentally stronger. And like we always said, pick somewhere and start. Pick small. You don't have to, like, we're not trying to move a mountain or anything. Just every castle is built one stone at a time. Pick a stone and lay it down, and lay another stone, and one day you will have a castle. See ya.